In today's video, we're going to cover 3 reasons why we typically top the golf ball. 2 of them are going to be very basic, why most amateurs top the golf ball, and then maybe if you're somebody who's a little bit more of an advanced player, one of the reasons why you top it or more likely thin the golf ball. All right, so if you're brand new to our channel, make sure you subscribe. That helps grow our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy the content today. So we're going to get going on why we typically thin or top the golf ball. So if you struggle with thinning the golf ball or topping the golf ball, one of the most common reasons is what's kind of going on with your arms. I see a lot of golfers, especially in the beginning, the structure that they start off with, that little V or the Y, whatever you want to kind of call it, when they're coming down in impact, I see a lot of bent lead arms. Okay, and so when that arm is bent, it really causes 2 things. It causes you to thin it, it causes you to top it. All right. It also is going to cause you to usually keep the face open and hit fades and slices. So one thing that you need to really concentrate on, or video or ask somebody, is do my arms look like they're extended, especially that lead arm. The lead arm controls a lot of the bottom of the swing. So is that lead arm straight at impact? Okay. And if you're struggling with topping it because of this reason, one thing that I want you to do is I just want you to take small swings and really work on hitting shots, just with really concentrating on keeping your lead arm extended at impact. All right. Another thing why that lead arm tends to bend on you is because if your body stops, the arms are going to fold because there's still a lot of momentum pulling those arms through. So when you do that little shot drill, I want you to really concentrate on feeling like everything is still rotating. That's the only way that you're going to keep those arms straight. If that body stops, it's going to bend and you're going to be stuck in that same thin or top. All right, so reason number 2 why you top the golf ball is a lot of people say you take your eyes off the golf ball. It's most likely never the case. So forget about that tip. What you're most likely doing is that your chest is raising up. So you have 2 options going on. Either your hips are moving closer to the ball, which causes your chest to raise up, or you might be one of those rare people who keeps your butt back, but you just pull up with your chest. Okay? Most of the time it's going to be the hips are going forward, so it pulls the chest up. And that's why you top the golf ball. So I need you to feel the exact opposite. So when you get to the top, I want you to feel like either your butt goes back or your chest moves closer to the golf ball. Okay, there's certain ways to do this right. There's certain ways to do it wrong. If we're looking at it on face front on, if you watch my head, all right, it is not going that way with it. It is just traveling down. Okay, so if you are going to go out there and try this, I want to make sure that you don't do it with a weird head moving forward move, because that's going to cause you to come over the top of it. So if my head moves forward, it's going to that way. So it's just back. Either the butt moves back into the wall or the chest moves down. Either one kind of works. It kind of depends on the person. I tend to see a lot, probably more people, it feels when the chest drops down, that tends to make them more successful than feeling like they keep the butt back against the wall, because they can still keep it back and still kind of raise up. But when your chest feels like it gets into the idea of covering the golf ball, all right, that is going to be a really good reason to help you stop topping the golf ball. Okay, you might chunk it for a little while, because most likely if you're somebody who's topped it, you learn to release back here to make the club longer, right? So if you are dropping down and you still release your same way, you're going to hit behind it for a little while until you figure out I don't have to release it that exact same way. You're going to be able to release it a little bit later. Okay, so those are the 2 most common reasons why people tend to top the golf ball. Okay, either that lead arm bends in, left shoulder, left arm kind of controls the bottom of the swing, or your chest is moving up and down, or your hips are moving back and forth. Now we're going to cover a reason why some more advanced golfers tend to thin the golf ball, which it's a little bit more rare, but I've seen it every now and then. So the idea of lagging the golf club has been out there all over the place. Basically, every person who's done YouTube has done a video on lag. because we know it creates more of a better impact. It creates a little bit more compression with the ball, so you hit it further, and of course the lag and then the release, automatically it gets you more club head speed. Okay, but there comes a point when some people overdo the lag. Okay, so if I just get into a lag position here and I hold it through, all right, my club is actually going to be above the ground way too much. So if I just take my posture and I put a lot of lag into it, so I put my hands really forward, you can see what the club does. It raises off the ground. And this is one of the reasons why we see a lot of professionals, their head or their body drops a little bit, because yes, they are lagging the golf club, so they have to stay down with it in order to hit it good. Otherwise they're going to thin it all day long. So that's a common reason that I see that maybe the more high-end golfers, or maybe just the golfers that are crazy, that's all they think about is lag, is they've become to do it too much. They get it down here, they really hold it, and they just can't get down to the ball because it's so far down, because their hands are so far forward. Okay, you don't have to lag the golf club that much anymore because of how the ball is made. Back in the 80s and 90s, when you had wound balls, you could lag it a little bit more and you'd be more successful. Now, if you lag it too much, you're not gonna get enough loft on the golf ball. So everything's gonna go really low for you, and it's just not gonna go as far, okay? So just because of ball technology, the idea of how we lag it or how much we lag it has changed over the years, okay? So if you tend to thin the golf ball and you're a good golfer, let's say you're a single digit handicap and you're like, man, I keep on thinning it, you might check and make sure that you don't lag that thing or pull that handle or do anything weird too long, because that's just going to cause the club to raise up a little bit early. Just like everybody who releases it early, they tend to fat it, all right? And if people hold it too much, they tend to thin it, okay? And that's why the bottom of the swing is so important, is the timing really has to be good. So if we're looking at the bottom of the swing, basically hands are going to be a little bit forward, all right? With irons, we like to see the shoulder, hip, and ankle all line up with one another. All right, so thanks for watching today. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, we appreciate when you do subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this content.